Hello and welcome to part 2 of lesson 4.8 system view controllers. So what we're going to do in this next lesson is we're going to go ahead and present an alert controller to the user. So alert controllers are used to capture the attention of the user and give them options to choose from. You've probably seen low battery alerts or software updates alerts on your device. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to use the alert controller to ask the user if they would like to take a new photo or select an existing photo from their photo library to set as the new image for the image view. So we'll start by implementing the alert controller inside the Photos button tap function. So I will pause the video and add that code in right now. Okay, so I've gone ahead, I've added the code, so you can go ahead and see when we create our UI alert controller. We give it a title, which is choose image source, and then we set the preferred style for the alert, and .action sheet will place the alert at the bottom of the screen. If I would have selected .alert, it would have placed the alert at the center of the screen. So what we're doing after that then is we go ahead and we add our action, which is a cancel action. Of that cancel action that we created above, and then we did make the same changes that we did above to present the popover presentation controller, and then we finally present the alert controller to the user. So we will go ahead and run the app right now and see what happens here. And if we go ahead and click on camera, our alert pops up with the title and the alert that we're currently showing. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and add two additional alert buttons. The first one is going to be for a camera, and the second one is going to be for the photo library. So this would give the user a chance to either select a picture that they've taken with their camera and add that as the real image, or select one from their photo library. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video, add that, update the code so we present those additional options to the user. Okay, so I've added the additional code. That code that I've highlighted will add a camera action. The title of it will be camera. The style will be default. And what we're going to do then is if the user selects that action, we'll go ahead and print that information out. What this is showing is it's showing a closure, which we will talk about later. So the handler is a closure or block of code that will get executed if that action has been selected. And then we've done the same thing for our photo library action, a title of photo library default, and then we have that closure to specify that the user selected the photo library action. And then we've added those actions to our alert controller, and then we're going to go ahead and present that to the user. So I will go ahead and kick off our app and actually see what happens here. Okay, so it's come up. I'll go ahead, press on camera, and then I'll go ahead and press on, so now we have a camera action or photo library action. When I clicked on the camera action, it displayed that information to the console, and then if I did the same thing for the photo library action, it displayed the photo library action to the console. So what we've gone ahead and done is we've added those actions. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and build an app that we're going to use a UI image picker controller that will allow the user to go ahead and either use the camera or their photo library to go ahead and choose and update their profile picture. So to use an image picker controller, you must adopt two protocols. The first one is the UI image picker controller delegate, which will transfer the selected image's information back into the app, and a UI navigation controller delegate, which will handle the responsibility for dismissing the image picker view. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead, go back in my application. So the first thing we need to do is on our class, we must adopt our UI image picker controller delegate, and then we must go ahead and adopt the UI navigation picker controller delegate. So after that, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and update our code in our Photos button tab so we can go ahead and use the delegates so that we can go ahead and pick an actual image. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and pause the video again. I'll add that code, and then we'll go ahead and talk about that code after I've added it. Okay, so I've added the code. So the first thing we're doing is we need to create an instance of our UI image picker controller. And then after we've done that, we've set our view controller as the delegate, where we went ahead and set that equal to ourself. And then what we've done down below is we've gone ahead and we've updated the code for our UI. We're checking to see if a camera is a source type that is available. So since we're working on a simulator, the simulator we do not have access to that camera, so that option will probably not be available. But if you were running it on an actual iOS device, the camera should be available. So, and then we're doing the same thing too. We're checking to see if the photo library is available, and if the photo library is available, then we're going to allow the user to go ahead and choose an image from the photo library and update their screen with that image. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and press the run button and see what happens. Okay, so I will click on camera, and as you can see, the camera does not appear anymore as an image source. So if I go ahead and click on my photo library, my photo library gets presented, and if I click on the next one, I can go in and actually select a picture, but it has not updated the image. We have not added that code in right now. I know the text, the lesson goes into that your app has probably crashed and there should be an error message in the console. If it does, let me go into the text at that point. So you may get an error message, this app has crashed because it attempted to access privacy-sensitive data without a usage description. If you do get that error message, what you need to do is you need to go into your plist file and then enter a new key for the photo library usage description. Once you do that, what it'll do is it'll ask the user for permission and present the camera and image picker accordingly. So I did not run into that, so I'm not going to go in and actually enter a new key for my photo library usage description. So the last thing we need to do is we need to go in and we need to go ahead and actually implement an image picker controller function within our app. So that's what I'm going to do next is I'll go ahead and implement that function, and then we can go ahead and run the app and see if we can actually change it, our image view. Okay, so I've gone in, I've added the code for our image picker controller function. The code is different from what you see in the book. There has been updates to Swift since the book was actually written and the code was placed in the book. So what we're doing here is the method tells the delegate that the user has picked a photo and includes the photo in the info dictionary. So the info dictionary has many different keys. We're going to use the key UI image picker controller.info key.original image to capture the image that the user selected. Because the info dictionary is of type string any, the value for the original image key won't be of type UI image, so we need to typecast the value to a UI image. And then once we've unwrapped the optional image, you can set it to display in your view controller. And then to dismiss the image picker, what you do is you simply call the dismiss method, and that'll go ahead and dismiss that image picker. So let's see if our app works. So we'll go ahead, click on run, I'll stop. And it looks like our phone is up, so I will go ahead, click on my camera. I can next click on my photo library. Photo library comes up. I'll select my camera roll. I'll go ahead and choose a new picture. And now that has updated my view, my UI image with that new picture. So the next controller that we're going to be talking about is the MF Mail Compose View controller. This allows you to send email from within your app. Currently, using the MF Mail Compose View controller and the simulator may cause your app to crash in the simulator, but it works as expected on an actual device with an email address set up. So what I am going to do next is I'm just going to go ahead and add the code to implement that, and then we will go ahead and talk about the code. So I'll pause the video right now, and then, okay, I've gone in and I've updated the code. So the first thing I've done is on line 11, I'm importing the message UI. And then if you go ahead and look on line 13, there's a delegate that we're going to go ahead and adopt. What that delegate does is it's responsible for dismissing the mail compose view controller at the appropriate time. So I've gone ahead and I've set that up. So if we scroll on down to my email button, if it's tapped, so what I'm using is a guard to find out if I can send email on the device that the app is running. And if I can't, then what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and print out a message and return it. And then, so with the email functionality, you can configure different parts of an email in your code, such as the the recipients, the message body, and even attachments. So that's what we've done here is we've used the mail composer to go ahead and set to the recipients, the subject, and the message body. And then down below, when the user has finished sending an email, they'll need a way to dismiss the mail compose view controller and return to the app. So basically that's what the function down below is doing, where we're using our delegate method mail compose controller to go ahead and dismiss the mail compose view. So I'm going to go ahead and run the app. We're not going to have the functionality here to go ahead and send emails. So what we should get is our guard should fall down to the else statement, and it should specify cannot send mail. So I'll go ahead, kick off the app here. And we will go ahead and run the app. And the app is coming up right now. I'll click on the email button. And if we go back into our code, we get the message cannot send mail. So those are the various controllers that we're going to go ahead and talk about. So I will be talking to you in the next video when we get into lesson 4.9, which is building complex input screens. So we will go ahead and talk to you later.